Chief Babaji has given us objective facts on biology to better explain how we, that's living beings, are all connected and how all is formed out of energy collectively, sharing the same experiences biologically. Biology is a science that deals with the nature of living organisms. The earth is literally the nucleus of a neuron cell within our own body. We are immune system cells of the body. We are neuron cells made up of neuron cells within a neuron cell infinitely. Cells are the smallest living units of an organism. All cells have three things in common. All cells have a cell membrane, which separate the inside of a cell from its environment, a cytoplasm, and DNA, which is the genetic material. This is example being used. This is example we can look at for informative information. This is facts.
3, 2, 1. All living things we know of were single-celled and came in 3 different types. Bacteria and archaea, which both tend to be extremely small. And then we have eukaryotes, most of which are still microscopic but far larger and much more complex than the others. The cells that made up the first sea sponges and the cells that make up your body today are strikingly similar to single-celled eukaryotes. The main difference is that your cells can no longer survive on their own. Instead, trillions of them, that's trillion with a T, are all working together in near perfect harmony to make you, you. The move from single-celled creatures to multi-celled animals was a major evolutionary transition. As a result, your body now represents 2 distinct layers of life. You as a whole, and you as a colony. Bizarre as this fact is, there are stranger things. Inside the cells of all eukaryotes, single-celled and multi-celled, there are tiny structures called mitochondria. Scientists used to think these structures were simply body parts of the larger cell. In the late 1960s, however, Lynn Margulis, piecing together the discoveries of many others, demonstrated beyond reasonable doubt that mitochondria were once free-living bacteria. Mitochondria have their own genes. They live, reproduce, and even die on their own inside their larger hosts. Mitochondria feed on the nutrients our cells produce, but they are not parasites. In return for the food they consume, they build and secrete special molecules called ATP, molecules that our cells use as a source of energy. Kill the mitochondria, and the larger cell will also die. This discovery means that you are not just 2 layers of life, but 3. You as a whole, you as a colony of cooperating cells, and each of your cells as an interdependent community of its own. Profound as that is, there's more. Inside each of your cells and each of your mitochondria, there is a genome, a large collection of genes that, together, allow your cells to grow, function, and reproduce. In the early 1970s, Theodore Diener was investigating the cause of an illness in potato plants. The culprits he discovered were the smallest, simplest reproducing structures ever to be described. He called them viroids. They are not cells, they are not even viruses. Instead, they are single, free-living genes. Moving from plant to plant by hitching a ride on insects, farming equipment, or even the wind, viroids use the chemistry and nutrients inside plant cells to reproduce. The existence of free-living genes strongly suggests that the genome of the first cells on Earth, and by relation, the genome in your cells today, can actually be thought of as a collection of individual genes working together in cooperation. In other words, your body represents 4 layers of life. You, your colony of cells, the many communities making up each one of your cells, and the collection of genes that make up every cell's genome. Each new layer of life is the result of what scientists call a major evolutionary transition.
What was the cause of these transitions? The answer is cooperation. A major transition starts when free-living creatures team up to form a cooperative group. In the early stages of cooperation, participants are free to come and go as they please. If a group sticks together long enough, however, division of labor will often evolve. Different participants begin specializing in different tasks. As time goes on, individuals may become so specialized that they can no longer survive on their own. If the entire group becomes locked into cooperation, depending fully on one another to survive and reproduce, a new superorganism has been forged and a major evolutionary transition is complete.